Okay, so childhood is hell. Let me break that down a little bit. There's a lot of factors that contribute to this. One is that we are no longer raised in tribal settings. So our bodies have evolved to wake up and see the eyes of 40 adults, like ready to meet our needs and be with us. And now we have two, maybe two, usually one person, one adult that is available to us, and it's not enough. And partner that with where we are emotionally, spiritually in our evolution of humans is that we aren't loving unconditionally. We are still in a very narcissistic part of our human evolution. We are caught up with our own needs. Most of us are in survival states, just trying to make it through the day. And for a child to constantly need to have unconditional presence, unconditional love, to be seen as valuable and a miracle, essentially, that is what a child needs all the time, or at least the majority of the time. And most caregivers are just not able to show up in the way that the child needs. And essentially, trauma is being in a little body that can't self regulate. It needs co regulation. It can't hold like high energy states on its own, whether that's depression, hopelessness, despair, powerlessness, or excitement and joy and exhilaration. Like those extreme energy states can't be held in a little body by itself. So if it doesn't have somebody to co-regulate with in a safe way, there it has to dissociate. It has to cut itself off and repress those states. It just can't cope with that energy. It can't handle it. It can't process it. So it shuts it down. It fragments. It essentially dissociates. It's stored in our fascia. It's stored in our body. Like that energy doesn't leave. It's here. And trauma is actually really subtle. Of course, there are acute abuse experiences like physical and sexual violence, but neglect is traumatic and it's harder to see because it's what didn't happen. It's the love and the care that we didn't get when we really needed it. And to be a child in those states where you are not connected to someone is so painful. And so much of the time that your caregiver couldn't be present with you, couldn't see you in unconditional positive regard. Like they got frustrated, they weren't available, they didn't like when you were angry. Go to your room if you're angry. I can't be with you in that state. That's not unconditional love and unconditional presence. That's harmful. That really hurts as a child. And we write off that experience as part of life. They did the best they could. And of course, those things are true, but it is deeply traumatic. And we have dissociated those parts that feel that level of pain. We couldn't handle it then, and perhaps our capacity isn't big enough yet to hold that level of pain. But that state as a child is torture. It's hell to be disconnected from the people that are supposed to take care of you, to be unable to self regulate. There was just nothing that child could do other than dissociate to survive. And it was excruciating. And those parts are still in us. And life still feels like hell sometimes because those parts are blending with us and projecting their realities of the world, like from those places where they are frozen in time. But we were all taught that our emotions were too big, too much. And so we push those parts away just like it was done to us. Our parents couldn't be with us when we were angry. So now we can't be with those parts that are angry. We weren't taught how to be with them in a safe way. We weren't taught to show them love and compassion. They are exiled in shame. And when there's shame, there's usually dissociation, meaning we don't even have conscious access to those parts of us. We can't see their reality. We can't feel their pain. We've shut them down. But that doesn't mean they aren't still here. unconsciously, subconsciously. And to the degree that we aren't able to see how inherently painful childhood was, is to the degree that we are not able to listen to our young parts that are still here in pain. Every trigger, every moment of self abandonment, shame, self criticism, these are all opportunities for us to connect with these parts. Those original traumas are like bruises on our energetic spiritual bodies. And when someone presses on it, it's not because they are hurting us, it's because they are pressing on a deep wound. And so our work is to go inside and find these bruises that are getting pressed. Where are there broken blood vessels? Where are we bleeding out internally, emotionally? Everything is here to show us where the original pain is still being held, where we need to bring attention, where we need to bring deep compassion, and where we can learn how to actually be unconditionally loving and present with ourselves.